So I want you to watch this video. I got to go to the bathroom, but I just want you to take a bit. This.
Why don't you just do it together and just redo it?
Nah, you can just do it. It's not that hard. I'll be back. It's only it goes really fast because I just thought I'd get your opinion on it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Or whoever's watching this. This is really awkward, and I don't want to do it, but I think it's probably beneficial because from all the videos that I've watched, it's kind of helped me a little bit to be more introspective and kind of think about what got me to the point that I'm at today, where I'm 32 years old. I might not look it, the beard helps, and I have no friends, like literally zero friends. I had friends, and I do have friends that I'll talk to every once in a while, like on social media, if that really counts. But other than my wife, I literally have no friends. And it's kind of sad to say, almost pathetic. Pathetic because, you know, a lot of people do fine without friends. And I was thinking I was doing fine without friends for a long time, but I realized lately that it's kind of taking a toll on my mental health. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. So when I was younger, we'll just go through it quickly. We moved around a lot. There wasn't that much security there. So, you know, I could never really establish that core group of friends that a lot of kids seem like they're able to. And that group of friends, you know, they grew up with through elementary school, middle school, high school, and then, you know, some of them remain friends, you know, to this day, I'm sure. And, you know, I never had that until maybe like 8th grade, 9th grade. I met a few friends, and I mean, we were friends at school. I don't want to say we were super close like a lot of people seem to be back then because we didn't hang out that much outside of school. I don't really even remember doing anything outside of school with people until, you know, maybe later in high school. And even then, the friend group I had, they were nice and great and everything, but I still felt like I had major imposter syndrome no matter what. And I think that's just a case of always feeling like the outsider because they had all been friends for years, you know, and I came out of nowhere. So even though they were really accepting and seemed to like me and everything, you know, through the years, I still always felt like I shouldn't be there. I don't even know why. I don't know how to explain it. Even after high school, when I would hang out with people, you know, they would invite me to things, but even then, I don't know why. There was something in the back of my head that I was always thinking like it was almost out of pity or something. I wish I could explain that more, but yeah, so I would hang out with them and we would have fun, but I don't think we ever spoke about anything of substance really. It was more just like, you know, let's hang out, let's drink, let's watch fights or, you know, whatever we were doing at the time. And then as soon as I moved away and I went to college later in life, we kind of slowly got disconnected, you know, and I made a few more friends, and that was mostly just friends at the gym. And the exact same scenario occurred, you know. I made a few friends, we'd hang out outside of the gym or outside of classes, and I still, again, for whatever reason, the anxiety would creep in where I'd be like, why are they even hanging out with me? And no matter how much I try to push it off or tell myself, you know, maybe because they think I'm cool or something. I don't know how to explain that, but I would keep telling myself, or basically self-sabotaging, because I'd be like, well, they don't actually really want to hang out with me. They just feel bad for me or something. So I would push it off and I would say, I'm busy with school or whatever excuse I could make up, really, I started making. And then eventually, you know, I moved away for work and kind of lost those friends as well again. I didn't think I would get this emotional talking about it, but I'm just going to push through. So I basically told myself for a while, you know, the most important thing was my career and doing well, especially because I had, you know, grown up, you know, around the poverty line, so I didn't want to get stuck in that same cycle as my family got stuck in. So I was thinking, you know what, I can just focus on myself. I'll focus on my girlfriend and fiance and now wife, and I'll be totally fine. And I think I was fine for a while there, but at a certain point you need that connection with other people. You need somebody kind of to talk to about not just fun stuff, but also about how you're feeling and your ambitions and your goals and pretty much all that kind of stuff. And I know that exists because I talk to people who have great friends, and I just don't know how to build that connection with people. And I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I've heard people say that a lot of times on these videos. I've watched a bunch of them, but it's a genuine question I have because there's got to be a reason why I can't make friends, whether it's maybe I'm too picky. I know it's like dating. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And I've tried like Bumble BFF and that kind of stuff, and I have, you know, matched with people, and I just can't seem to get that connection regardless. I've almost hung out with a couple people, and either I've backed out or they've backed out. And so I mean, I'm going to try whatever I can to make friends. I've started mountain biking recently, and I live in Northwest Arkansas, so mountain biking is really big here, and it seems to be a really strong community. So hopefully, I can find a couple friends that way. And maybe I'll make an update video. As awkward as this video was, and I'm sure it wasn't that entertaining to watch in the first place. And it really doesn't matter if anybody watches this, because I'm just trying to do this to gain some insight into why I feel this way. I mean, think about it. I basically cried just talking about losing friends that were kind of just peripheral friends in the first place. So I think this will be really beneficial to me just to get it off my chest. So yeah, thank you for watching if you made it this far. If you want, put a comment below on kind of how you're feeling or if you've experienced anything similar to this. And if I do make a video, I'll try to have some talking points or something to make this video, the next video, have less rambles, less because I say way too much when I'm nervous, just like that. And so, yep. See you guys. Thanks for watching.
So I guess I actually do have quite a bit to say to this guy and about this guy. Maybe this is a little superficial, but I think he's a pretty good-looking guy. But I guess even when you're good-looking, they still have struggles too. So in the end, it's more about how you present yourself, and it's good that he actually found a wife. And for a person that's not able to make very good friends, I'm actually kind of surprised he's able to even hold a relationship with his wife and like even date her in that realm. But like I said, my brother and I both struggled with severe social anxiety. Me, I feel like my anxiety was so dang bad that I actually got psychotic, that I actually developed feelings of paranoia that people were talking about me. For some reason, my mind, I would hear things that I would misinterpreted. Like if someone was talking in the other room, I'd feel like that they're talking about me, and it wasn't good. And I feel like that stress, that anxiety of being afraid around people, which I realize maybe it could have been the meds that actually reduced a lot of anxiety, but I actually think it was more, to me, I don't like to just say it's one or the other, but I actually feel like it was more about lifestyle changes and experiences and growing from it, because I would have to probably thank my second relationship, because I used to be really afraid of people. I didn't like being around people at all. I would get nervous, and she would try to get me to be out and about with her family and friends, and I realized it was actually pretty fun, and that people aren't as bad as you think they are. They're not as judgmental.
They aren't as judgmental.
Think.
They're probably more worried about themselves. And the good thing is, this guy is seemingly trying to be active and engaging. I mean, I would be his friend. He seems like he's a pretty fit guy and a pretty cool guy. It's just kind of ironic. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much looks you have. In the end, I guess we all struggle with some things. Because I kind of blame our lack of looking good. I kind of blame our lack of not being very attractive as attributing to us not making a lot of friends. Granted, it could be our personality, because we're kind of outrageous and out there. But
you have to realize, back in like high school, we had like 0 friends besides one close friend like David Kochik, and that was it.
I think a lot of it because we were depressed, and no one likes to be around negative people. I mean, even now, I feel like I'm a little bit lonely as well, because I had to cut people out of my life, and I would like to have more friends to be around, but I wouldn't say that I have 0 friends, because I still can hang around some people. So I'm fortunate to have those kind of connections and build those relationships. So my other suggestion was actually building friends at work. And I know that they say that you're not supposed to make friends at work, but screw that. I mean, I feel like that's like the only way where you can really meet people. I mean, you're probably there about what, like a fourth of your life at work, and the rest is like sleeping and you're at home. So that's why I'm trying to build myself and go out there and meet connections. Even then, I met connections when I worked in the past, and I thought it was fine. I know they say you're not supposed to mix work and play, but I guess I have a different opinion. You probably shouldn't start a relationship now with the Me Too movement, because females, or I guess males, may take offense to that kind of thing anyway. But I still feel like it's really important to go out Probably with the COVID, I noticed he just recently released this. It could have been the COVID that's causing the isolation too and getting everyone depressed as well. But other than that, I wouldn't say I'm a huge experience in how to make friends. I know people would say that you could probably look up these social gatherings. I mean, for us, we're Korean adoptees, so there's quite a bit of Korean adoptee social gatherings that we can go to. And this, since this guy's American, maybe he could. I don't know if he goes to the gym or not, but he looks like a pretty fit guy that he could do that. And how to deal with social anxiety. This is probably as weird as it is, and they probably call this like flushing or something. I kind of attribute it to the fact that maybe my brother and I were so outrageous, kind of embarrassing ourselves, wearing red thongs, saying the stupid things no one wants to say, and in the end, we kind of become accustomed, and we kind of trained our mind to not worry as much about other people. Granted, I do think we probably do worry about what other people say to an extent, but not to the point where it's actually controlling our life. I mean, you can't. Because in the end, the only person that should judge yourself is nobody. And you should just like yourself and love yourself. I think this guy's very handsome. I actually was kind of getting a little emotional when he was kind of getting up a little emotional about him feeling really alone. So, and I guess it just proves it affects everyone. And he's around our age too. So I think he's a pretty, he seems like a pretty cool guy. And I'd probably be his friend if he really wanted to.
So anyways, I just want to say that, I'm a big proponent of medication. However, there's a lot of people that go the benzodiazepine route, like Ativan, Klonopin, and Xanax. But for me, if you develop tolerance for that, it's not good for you. So that's the whole reason why I got off it. There's like another one that is called, I think it is called propranolol, but that has not really worked for me. So if you want to try to take social anxiety medication, that can be beneficial. But if you have a underlying condition, like for me, bipolar disorder, I feel like an antipsychotic has really, flushed a lot of that anxiety away, because you're pretty much chilled when you take one of these antipsychotics. So chilled that you actually become listless, which is also another problem. But like Kyle said, when we're growing up, we also had a lot of anxiety. I think one of our babysitters said something along the lines that
Our problem is we don't talk.
Or no, our uncle said something that we never talked, so he thought that there was something that we didn't like him, but in reality, we were just really, really uncomfortable around new people. In fact, in kindergarten,
even if they were family, because maybe that was a Korean adoptee thing since we were different too. So
even in kindergarten, we end up missing the transfer bus because we were afraid to talk to the bus driver on what bus we were supposed to get on. So we were late to class because he ended up bringing us to school on our own, and that was really embarrassing. And like, I didn't really start getting over anxiety since maybe 2012, really. And that was with his second ex was actually my maybe first or second ex too. But I was so uncomfortable with Asian people because I'm so used to being around white people. So it was actually a cultural shock to be around all these Hmong people. But in the end, I got used to it. And primarily, like I said before, it's due to age, development, self-development. It's due to confidence, and like I said before, a lot of it's the medication I've been on, because if you're feeling good on the medication you want, you're not thinking of loneliness, you're not thinking about the lack of friends you have, you're just thinking about getting your day done.
So with me, I feel like this guy may have social anxiety, but I'm not sure if it's the point that maybe medication would be a good option. Maybe it's about thought process and just going out there. But if it's really affecting his life, yeah. My story is I wanted to do a reaction video with Dr. Jordan Peterson. He recently, probably a little bit over a year ago, he ended up being on a benzodiazepine, and he had a really bad reaction that he actually had to go overseas to get that resolved. Me, I was on Klonopin. I decided just to stop it, just randomly, and it was no good. I remember I was sitting in the tub, and I just felt, it was a feeling that I wanted to die. I mean, I don't know if it's akathisia, but it was not a good feeling. So even though it really chilled me out, in the end, it put me in I had to go to the hospital. They had to give me a shot of probably Ativan, and I was a lot better. But boy, that was a really painful feeling, and I didn't know what was up with me, to be honest. I just felt like I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I felt like I wanted to die feeling, which I usually don't really feel. So I want to have people, even though my brother's a big proponent of medicine, it's not everything. And sometimes you just have to, it's more about experiences, suffering a little bit, and then growing and learning.
Part of me feels like he's really new to the mental health experience. And part of me feels like I don't think he's ever had a therapist. I think a therapist can really help, or even like dialectical behavioral therapy. It's pretty ironic to see that this guy who's looks pretty good ends up having this anxiety, because I would never expect this guy to get so emotional. And for me, for regardless whether you're good looking or not so good looking, loneliness can be a big killer for you. And loneliness is not good, so it's good to have some outlet of people to be around. We don't have a lot of friends, but we are around a lot of family, and that actually has helped. Having a twin brother, identical twin brother, living in the same house along with my dad has definitely helped with loneliness. So I feel less alone. I also have a friend that I talk to occasionally every day, that we just have a short conversation, a brief conversation that has helped. Kyle has less friends than me, so I don't know what he does when it comes to
mainly
loneliness.
put my focus in even though it sometimes sucks not going out, not having the ability to go out. I think some of the relationships we had were kind of damaged in that way. But in the end, I feel like I could put that focus into my work and into my creative stuff, and that's what I do. So, but in the end, this guy is still complaining about no friends. So in the end, it's not about the work. It sounds like he can work well. And another thing that I wanted to bring up, if you think about it, don't be so harsh on yourself. Just because something is bad now doesn't mean it's forever. It's good that this guy has awareness of it. But if you think about it, I like to put it this way. Some people have been going to me saying that they're so afraid of life. They don't know what to do with their life. And in the end, it's, to me, I think that's just a natural way of dealing with life. Because when you're younger, it's like a kid. You don't know yourself. You don't know what to do with your in the world, and it's a really painful and isolating and confusing time. But as you get older and kind of do have to go through those pitfalls and suffer a bit, you kind of get used to it, and life does not become as hard. And I hope it's not as hard, because I feel like even though as an adult, even though the responsibilities are sometimes there, I feel like since you know yourself, you have more of a stable grounding, you know like what things you like, what things you dislike, you kind of become more leveled. And I feel like sometimes the best form of dealing with issues is just time, and try not to be so hard on yourself. And as my own counselor says, you're fine as the way you are, and you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to go for what you want, and you don't have to victimize yourself into any situation you don't want to be in, because in the end we all have choice. So I think that's all I have to address. I really feel like maybe seeing a therapist would probably be the number one before the meds, because meds are basically, to me, is more of a symptom. It's more of it's more treating the symptoms. I don't know if it's really treating the exact problem. In the end, the power of the mind, the power of the thought overruns anything, because in the end you can blame your illness, you can blame your situation, but in the end it's still all about choice. It's like a drug addict. Yeah, you can blame the drugs, but in the end it goes more deeper than that, and those are things that have to be worked on and resolved, because in life there's no simple fix. It's more about a conglomerate of everything that needs to be done with. So hang in there, guy. You seem like a cool guy to me, and I think I'd be your friend. And we could probably be workout buddies or something, but take care. I'm glad you have a wife, at least, just like my brother. So
I don't have a wife.
Yeah, he does.
I don't.
He does.
Why'd you say like my brother?
No, it's the relationship like you and me, because you and I are.
All right, let's
close.
just review some of these comments. He has like 139 comments with, since April 9th. That was less than a month ago. He already has like 3,700 comments. I struggle with friends throughout my life too. I'm almost 36 and a tough thing. Good for you posting this. You're not alone. I rarely ever comment on anything, but I feel compelled to comment here. You are definitely not alone, Josh. As you surely know, after watching similar videos to you, I dealt with the same story my entire life. Now at 26, I'm so familiar with life of loneliness that breaking the pattern becomes increasingly difficult. A part of me thrives in some areas of life when alone, yet as social creature I long for meaningful, authentic, and loving connections. For people like me, I believe the problem is lack of effort to even try to form these connections. And part of me agrees with that. If you're not getting yourself out there, if you're not getting yourself out there to get your mental health done, your mental health treated, your mental health somewhat...
So you're saying it comes from the self. It's not about external. You're saying that person has to fix his own mindset before making friends, or what are you trying to say?
I feel like, meds can definitely help you in the end, but in the long run, if you don't even take that step to actually bridge that gap to find what the solution is, you don't even take that step to actually theorize what that solution could be, that is your biggest problem, is not making that choice. The biggest problem is being inactive. The biggest problem is not taking action. It's inaction. And the opposite of the thing you do is stay in action, because that will likely get to you a point where you really think that you really want to go in life.
I will say that sometimes friends come and go. Sometimes friends evolve. And if your friends aren't there for you, maybe it just means you're at different points of your life. Or maybe you're not evolving yourself and going out there. So it takes two to tango. In the end, a person has to learn how to be comfortable with their own skin, their own self. And it's good that this guy's aware, but I only could just wish the best of luck to him. And again, it looks like you're a good-looking guy, I'm saying. And there's a lot of people who feel the same way.
There's a lot of people that are commenting, so they just, want to give him the best of his life, and they feel he's a pretty good-looking guy with reasons on why he's alone. And though there isn't a lot of advice, they do explain that he's pretty brave for getting out there and explaining his situation on social anxiety and lack of friends. So
I want to make notice, it's important not to judge this guy. It doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, attractive or not. We all struggle in the end. That's what I kind of realized. So let's try to wish this guy good vibes, and hopefully he could find the friendships that he desires.
So anyways, I just want to say this guy's named Josh Hitti. I'll provide his video link below and his channel link. He's only loaded 2 videos, but he has more subscribers than me, with 166 subscribers and only 2 videos. So clearly this guy can make rains if he continues to post, but it seems like he hasn't posted in 3 weeks. I'm sure this guy can go somewhere if I try to expose his channel. He seems like a good guy, just struggling with anxiety, who wants friends. So if there's anyone out there looking for friends, this guy's looking for friends, so please comment in his videos. Anyways, this is Travis and Kyle.
Wanted to say subscribe and like our videos as well if you're shooting this. Be a friend, subscribe and like.
So comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell button if you want to see more videos.
My brother's been pretty consistent trying to upload these videos.
I haven't talked about social anxiety yet, but I hope I give you a bridge between bipolar disorder and social anxiety. Social anxiety is still part of the mental health journey. I've actually been diagnosed with anxiety NOS. They couldn't find a specific point to it, but I do claim to myself that I have had issues, but I grow, I am having a harder time relating to this because I just seem to live day by day, and I think that's the practice with mindfulness. You live in the moment, not in the past. So I feel like focusing too much on the past, on why I had little to no friends, it just makes me feel worse. So I just focus on improving my life on a daily basis. Is there anything else you want to add?
I think that's actually a perfect setup, because in the end, it doesn't matter about the past. It doesn't matter about the future. Stay in the present. Just because you have no friends now, it doesn't mean it won't happen in the future.
And like most people, friends are temporary. They're not something.
Everything's temporary. In
life, death, situations, it's all temporary. But I feel like having that urge of time, that'll bring to the purpose on why we're alive, and that what brings meaning. Meaningfulness is the fact that our time is so short. So do your best, figure out what you want to do with life, live your dreams, and just keep on trucking, guys.
All right, take care.
All right, see ya. Bye.